Okay, y'all, I just finished reading Release Me. And I'm really happy because now I can go back to my other TikTok account because I was like, I know if I even try and open it, bro, the first video is gonna be a spoiler and I'm not playing those games. She's so freaking gorgeous. And I just have to say, my favorite thing about TikTok edits is I feel like it really accentuates or like heightens my reading experience. And I also feel like there's so many people who are so passionate and like they feel so deeply. And so watching those edits of like moments that I just kind of like breezed past and seeing somebody make it so like deep is part of the reason why I love watching edits so much. I will say I enjoyed this book. And like I'm watching, maybe I should have made my review before I started watching edits. Okay, I'm gonna give a book review. I need to start doing this. Okay. You know what's so exciting? It's signed. Okay. So, basically, a lot of spoilers ahead probably. So, Release Me is the second book in the new series. So here's the first one. And it's crazy because I remember seeing this one and I was like, it's so beautiful. And now I see this one and I'm like, it's so beautiful. And seeing them right next to each other is just kind of like crazy for me. Here's the front. Oh, I love these like gems. And then there's pink marshmallows. Or well, there's white marshmallows in the front, and then look, pink marshmallows in the back, and then there's one white marshmallow. So I think that shows like the development. Okay, so from James's viewpoint, I love how he always views everything like I relate to him so much because I feel like his responses are just so like funny. He's very lighthearted. But like he's serious whenever he needs to be. And I really respect that. Also, I appreciate that he makes me not worry about anybody getting too injured or well, himself getting too injured because he has healing abilities. So that's nice. Okay, for Rosabelle, in this book, I feel like she really opened up. Like it wasn't any of that like, you know, keeping yourself hidden or kind of lying about how you feel. Like it seemed to me like she always like was like opening up more, never more really like retreating back into herself, which makes me highly concerned for what's gonna happen in the next book because like I know whenever everything's like, oh la-di-da-di-da, we're so happy and we fight a little bit of crime but we're still happy, I know that's when I should be concerned. I think I just watched too much Grey's Anatomy and Criminal Minds growing up. So now I just expect the worst in everything. Like this happened with Heated Rivalry too. I was always like, everything's about to go bad, and then it was all fine and I was like, wait, like it's all gonna be okay. But I really loved how she opened up. And also, oh my goodness, the whole scene, like the scene where this quote comes from, the quote that's on the front, like a parachute, something inside of me releases. This whole, look how pretty that is. And also, wait, this is just a side note. Wait, oh no, it's in the back. Oh, and it's purple back here, and it's pink in the front. Okay, this is my favorite color ever. Like, this exact hue is my favorite color ever. So seeing that at the end was like, okay, so, oh yes, I always feel like something's like, I feel like I forgot my point. Oh no. I just always like, yeah, feel like something bad's gonna happen. But here, I'm gonna go figure out what my point was. Okay, so update, I should have just said my point before I went to go find my favorite color because now I forgot it. It's okay, it'll come back. I loved that scene so much because like they were so connected. Everyone seemed like they seemed so, it was great. And everyone was like so honest, like they were so honest with each other about how they felt and they were opening up. And yes, there's still things that people don't know, but it felt like James finally knows what's going on. I will say, I feel like there was a lot more tension in Watch Me, which I really enjoyed. And This book, people are comparing it to Ignite Me, which I honestly feel like the third book is going to be more like Ignite Me. This one feels more like an Unravel Me. Like, I feel like if I were to have the whole series out and know everything that happened, this book would feel more like the, it would feel more like the, like, I wouldn't say, actually, not really waiting for action, because I would say action comes pretty quickly. Man, that Unravel Me that was like 100 some pages were brutal to read, because I was like, show me the tension, show me the tension. But I would say this one, it's a lot more like James is so like boyish, and I think it's so fun. Warner's perspective always has to be my favorite. Every time I see his name, I'm always like, him and Juliet are so cute. I want to see more of them. Give me more, give me more. And then I can definitely picture Rosabelle and Juliet becoming like closer friends, and I think that's going to be a really cute development to see. But honestly, I was really just here for the James and Rosabelle tension, and it felt like true connection. And I also every time Warner was like, he tried to kill you, or she tried to kill you, she doesn't want you, I'm like, bro, you were happy that your now wife shot you, so we really can't be judging anyone here. But yeah, I liked how much connection they had. I think this is what I was saying. I know that whenever it's like, oh, connection, like, now she's going back home, and I feel like I shouldn't be too worried about that. Like, yeah, she's going back home, but she wanted to go back home anyway, so I guess like that she's going where she wanted to. She's got this. Like, she got this. I'm just a little worried because we need to get some more food in her. Poor girl had like half a waffle, and then she's out here fighting crime. Like, let her sit and eat, please, man. But yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes from this. I feel like the next book is going to be peak. I just know it. Watch Me was a really good entrance, and I think that this is a really good like sophomore book. This is a really good follow-up for Watch Me, and I really enjoyed it, and it's so bonita. And I will be going back and reading the scene where she says something inside of me releases, because that was adorable. Okay, bye. Hi everyone. Okay, I'm back. This weekend's been a roller coaster. So I had my prom last night. Yay, prom. And I wore my dress, and wait, here, I can show it to you actually. Let me open my computer. And so it was fun. I convinced the DJ to play Timber by Pitbull. Like, I put up my phone and I jumped until she saw me, and I was actually really happy about that. And okay, wait, here she is. I like this photo, but I'm not really a fan of the pool background. Let me full screen it. Okay, wait, I always forget. It's gonna be like upside down. There she is. And there's my flower bouquet too. That was the only photo I took without my flower bouquet in front of my dress. Anywho, today I'm very proud of myself. I asked for a 5% raise at my job. Yay! Okay. I always feel like whenever I share things I'm excited about, I really need the person who I tell it to like reciprocate the energy that I'm giving out, or else I kind of just feel like why did I say that? If that makes sense. Like, I don't want to like say something and then it's like I just get like no, like you need to be like, yes girl, yes, like, or you don't even have to be like that, like you just have to give me something to work with. Anywho, so everybody give me your most positive energy right now. Okay, thank you. Anywho, moving on. So tomorrow I'm pitching my business idea, so I'm excited for that tomorrow night. And I'm just exhausted. I went to bed at 3. I woke up at 9, and then like I called out work because I was like, I don't feel good. And my boss was like, okay, we need a doctor's note. And I was like, I'm not going to the doctor. Like, I just don't feel good. And so I went to work. And I was like late because I wasn't even planning on coming. And I was also an hour away from my job because I was at prom. And so there was that. I got there. And that's all that matters. Yeah. That's all that matters. Honestly, I've been having a rough time. Like, I just feel like it's always something. And I really am, like, I'm working to just try and be the most positive and happy and myself I can be with what I'm given. And sometimes that means that I just need to do what I need to do to get through the day. Like, sometimes I just need to get myself a matcha and then another matcha, and I don't even do that, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But, like, sometimes, like, I feel like if being a little evil is what gets me through the day, then I'm gonna be a little evil. And by a little evil, I mean, like, actually, I feel like whenever I feel tempted to, like, be a little evil, and I know I didn't really specify what that means, but I'm just gonna Tamra this because I'm not really in the mood to explain. I usually just, like, go and be by myself because I don't want to be, like, a menace to society. So, yeah. It's 11:46. I got, like, 6 hours of sleep, and then I worked all day. And, oh my goodness, the shift before my prom was literally the shift from the deepest, darkest depths of, like, hell. I don't know what happened, but it was so I'm a host and a food runner, right? And so I've been a food runner since, like, February or something. And so I just switched back. And I felt like a freaking baby cow. I was like, they like, at one point, this lady, like, they walked in, and I go, where are we going? And she goes, I'm sorry, what? And I was like, so man, because whenever I'm a food runner, I just go, hi, I have blank, blank, put it down on the table, y'all enjoy, and then I walk off. I don't have to use my words. And if somebody says, oh, can I get jelly and jam? I just go, yeah, of course. And I just go get it. Like, I don't have to actually conversate with people, which I know I don't have to do as a hostess either. Anywho, man, so I felt like a baby cow. And it just felt like stuff kept happening and nothing was going right. And also, we were, like, one hostess down. So it was just like, I don't know. I was like, oh, like, I'm not equipped for this. And then I got home and I call, like, the person who I'm getting ready with, or the people who I'm getting ready with, and I'm like, what time should I leave? And they're like, now. So my unwashed, not unwashed, because I showered the night before, but, like, straight out of work, bruh, didn't have any time to do my hair, genuinely thought I was gonna be late. I, like, go there, and it takes me, like, 30 minutes to get there. So, yeah, it takes me, like, 30 minutes to get there, and I have to do my makeup, and, like, I don't even have time to do my hair, bruh. But then again, I mean, it ended up working out because my hair looks fine. And I did my makeup, which doesn't really take too long, like, and then I had people help me lace up my dress, and then I made my transitions. It was great. It ended up working out. But yeah, I just feel like I'm currently, like, oh, this morning, when I was driving home to work, I was listening, like, I heard the spins for the first time in forever, and I realized, like, I'm gonna be a senior. Like, last night, somebody goes, we're gonna be seniors in 2.5 weeks. Like, I'm gonna be a senior in 2.5 weeks. Are you kidding me? Because, like, I heard, I just graduated high school. I remember listening to that summer my freshman year after our exams got canceled. And I was like, I can't wait until I'm a senior and I can just sing that. That's about to be me. And then I, sometimes like, and then later in the day, sometimes you are like already having a bad day, and then you open your grade book and see a not so good grade. Like, and what's really disappointing for me, I would say, like, I've been struggling with this a lot this year, is I look at my transcript. Like, I just got my high school transcript from my first 2 years of high school. It was so good. Like, it was a really good transcript. And then I look at my one now and I'm like, man, I'm really not proud of this. And I think, like, the reason why I came to the school is because I wanted to be challenged, and because I wanted to grow, and because I wanted new opportunities, and that's what I'm getting. So I am grateful for that. What this has also taught me is whenever I go to college, I don't want to be in a place where I'm constantly having to just leap and leap and leap and leap and leap. Like, I need, like, steady, leap, steady, leap. Like, I'm not just leap. That's not who I am. And I might be an ambitious person. There are definitely more ambitious people than me. Like, that might actually not be true. Like, I think I don't want to compare myself to other people, so forget that. I think that I'm a very ambitious person. Whenever there's a whole bunch of pressure on me, I don't, like, I literally, it is so hard for me to be ambitious, because all I can think, I'm trying to brighten this. Where's the brighten? Oh, there it is. All I can think of is more expectations. Like, if you just leave me alone, bro, I will be the most ambitious person ever. And so that's what I need. Like, I need not completely relaxed, but I need, like, a challenging environment to a point where I feel like I'm being fulfilled in that aspect. Like, I feel like I'm learning things. I feel like I like what I'm doing. Like, I feel like I have, like, options and opportunities, but not to a point where I genuinely feel like I'm drowning all the time. Because, like, especially, like, I would say being a second semester junior, I constantly, starting April 1st, I've just felt like I'm drowning. And I'm like, help me. Like, I look at and it's not, like, I have barely any tests left, but I just feel like there's so many expectations and there's so much stuff for me to do, and I just, like, sometimes I just need to just be myself. Like, I just need to be, and I need that to be enough. And I feel like sometimes, like, that just ain't gonna cut it. And I'm like, we need to find a, like, level ground here, because you want this, and I'm giving my all, and I'm about right here. So we need to, like, balance out. But yeah, I'm just, like, this is really teaching me to just be proud of myself for persevering through, which I feel like I've already kind of mastered, but we're mastering it again, because this doesn't feel anything like last year. Like, last year felt hardest, like, really, really hard. This year, it feels impossible. Like, genuinely, the thought of, like, waking up and going to school tomorrow is, like, exhausting for me, but also, like, I want to do it. Like, I don't know when the switch was to, like, I don't mind going to school, to, like, please don't make me go. I think it was April. But, like, it's okay. It's gonna be so much fun. I just have Silver Jubilee playing in my head by Aubrey Hobart. I don't know what her name is. Aubrey Hobart. I don't say her name out loud, like, ever. That was the first time. But yeah. And so I'm gonna put my drink up. So there's that. And yeah, we're gonna find where we're meant to be. We're gonna find our people. We're gonna find everything that's meant for us. Okay, we're gonna find it. We just need to wake up and get dressed and brush our teeth and wash our face and go to school. And sometimes there's gonna be a big freaking boulder in your way, and then there's gonna be a fire next to the boulder, and there's also just gonna be a crap storm all around you, and the sun might be, like, lime green, but you just gotta keep on, like, yeah. Anywho, that's my advice. This has been documenting my entire high school year, which is insane. I feel like I've changed so much as a person, and also freshman year feels like 30 ages ago. but also yesterday at the same time, and I'm so grateful I'm not there anymore. I can't even lie. It would be a lie if I said I wanted to go back. Like, I think about it and I'm like, oh, memories. I would never want to do that again, bro. Like, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily mind it. Like, I would choose it over other stuff, but like, I would not willingly go back there. Like, yeah. I also played blackjack last night because I'm like that. And not with real money though, girl, chips. And I like broke even, so I'll take that as a win. I got experience and I lost no money. Yeah. Anywho, I hope you have a lovely week. I'm saying that because it's Sunday. Sure would be a shame if I didn't have school tomorrow. Just kidding, I do. It's okay. I'm getting educated. And that's a good opportunity. And we love it. And we're going to power through. And this is exactly what we want and exactly what we need. And it might be hard, but we can do hard things. Okay. Bye. Okay. Hi, y'all. I'm just reminiscing on my prom night. Because, like, low-key, now that it's in hindsight, it was such a vibe. Like, okay, so the theme was Vegas. And it was, like, so it's dark and rainy. And we drive to the venue. And it's, like, there's, like, lightning out. And it's cute. And then we go in, Vegas, I gamble, I come out. It's, like, kind of raining. Like, you know it's about to start raining. And then I go back to my friend's house. And I change. And then I go get some 7-Eleven. And then I go to the after. And it's, like, raining and lightning. And we're outside. And I'm just, like, looking up at the raining and lightning. And I'm talking to this one girl who I literally only talk to when we're at my house parties, which is funny. It's funny how that works. And so we're talking about, like, what we want to do with our lives. And just doing lore drops. And, like, it's, like, raining. If you can't tell, I really love the rain. And it's, like, kind of cold-ish. And I'm just so obsessed with that. Like, oh, what a vibe. Like, if One for the Road by Arctic Monkeys had played, like, I wish I had taken, like, a general vibe photo. Because I feel like it would have been so good. And I was, like, in my PJs. Wait. It was, like, a blast. Okay, so bow. It was, like... Anywho. So that's my little journal for the day. I don't know. I just feel like... That was so fun. And man, if I tell you I had the hardest day at work before that, bro. That day was... I don't know what happened, but nothing good. Man, that was an exhausting day. And so... I had, like, whiplash from my shift. And I made a TikTok to Sis's Broken Clocks. Gotta shift at 10 a.m. Gotta dip at 10 p.m. And, bruh, I was exhausted. And, so yeah. I didn't even get a chance to appreciate it, and now I'm appreciating it. It was fun. Okay, prom. Alright, bye-bye. Hi, everyone. It is Tuesday. And so, one sec. As I always state, the purpose of this account is to document what it's like to be a teenager. And I would say nowadays, being a teenager or just generally being alive comes with a lot of processing, a lot of having to process events, and a lot of having to use critical thinking skills and also understand where your biases lie. And I say this because, so I haven't used my phone very often recently because, as you know, I had prom, I was working, always running around, and then I'm sleeping. So genuinely, like, just outliving. But I remember seeing that a man burnt down a warehouse because he wasn't getting paid a livable wage. And at first, all I could think was, why would anyone do that? That's crazy. Like, that just seems like, it seemed unreasonable to me. It seemed kind of violent. At first, like, I was like, I don't, like, that just seems like such an aggressive act. And then I started to reflect on, you know, in history class, all the things I've been learning in, just in general, like, in the world. And I started to think back to the 2020 riots and just every single thing that I've seen happening. And I will say, I feel like I've started to just become kind of apathetic and started to avoid the topic, just because I feel like around me, a lot of people don't necessarily enjoy, like, talking about everything that's going on. And also, I would say a lot of people don't know what's going on, because a lot of it is seen on social media, and some of the people I'm around don't have social media or don't use it frequently, and so they don't really know more than just one framing of it. And so I feel like I've just had, like, a lack of, like, people to talk to about it, I guess. But I will say, after about 10 seconds of thinking that, I realized, like, this isn't really who I am. Like, usually whenever I see something, I'm always like, okay, well, let me, like, look into this, let me figure out what's going on. Like, I never just listen to what I'm told. Which a lot of the time has been painted as a really bad thing. But I think it's less of, like, if you give me instructions and I trust you, then I will follow your instructions. But if I don't trust you, then I'm gonna go figure it out on myself, like, on my own, and for my own opinion. So obviously, as you know, like, reading one thing and being like, this happened, is like, no. So I go and I look around and I'm, like, digging through comments, and I'm just, like, generally thinking about it. And I feel like whenever people say, like, did you do your research, like, where did you see that? Like, how do you know it's credible? You don't have to write a whole research paper on it. Like, you know, there's going to be biased news sources. There's no articles out about it. And a lot of news outlets aren't covering anything that feels relevant nowadays. And so it's, like, you really just have to use your brain and you have to use your critical thinking. And so usually what I think is, like, think of both sides. Like, who set the fire? Why the fire was set? Who did the fire affect? Why did they want it to affect them? And why is this being shown to me? So after thinking about all of that, I realized how many employees that are working in a warehouse where, like, usually, like, you run the risk of getting your fingers cut off, getting your limbs cut off. It's a whole bunch of work. It's a lot of heavy lifting. You're probably not getting paid the best, and the hours aren't good. How many of those people are going to be, like, spoiled? Like, how many of those people do you think constantly get angry about the way that they're treated? How many people working in a warehouse are constantly complaining, constantly whining? I could bet that none of them are, because I know in jobs like that, like, people don't work at warehouses because they love working in warehouses, or very few people work in warehouses because they love working in warehouses. People work in warehouses because they need to put food on the table for their family. They need to cover their bills. They need money. They need a job. They need something on their resume. Sorry, my cat's yanking on my door handle. And so after thinking about that, I started to think, the statement felt like, just the entire situation of it felt very, not blunt, but just very much, like, not sugar-coated whatsoever. Like, you know you're gonna get in trouble for this. Like, you know this wasn't a good decision. And so why would somebody do that? We've already addressed the fact that it's not because they're just problematic. I mean, likely so. I don't know everything about this person, but if they're saying all you had to do was pay us enough to live, it's not like, insert boss's name, this is for being mean to me. It's not this, it's not that, it's pay us enough to live. So if the one message that you give is paying us enough to live, what does it mean to be paid enough to live? Enough for your rent, enough for your food, enough for like, your kids, enough for your car, not enough for, like, it's not like, here's for not getting me a Birkin bag, here's for not paying for my whole college. Like, or, well, I could argue that college is enough to live. there's a lot of there's not a lot of discourse about what's a livable wage actually, but only asking for a livable wage, I would say, it's not like that within itself is not a violent statement. The action of lighting something on fire, that is, like, to me, I was like, still, I kind of think like, wow, that seems like a lot. But after reflecting on what it would take to lead someone who this is their only living, clearly, to do that, it had to take a lot. It had to take a lot. As somebody who works with people, like with other people who are older than me, like, it would have to take a lot. And I think that's pretty obvious, because if it's your only form of income, there's no way you're burning that building down unless you seriously are not getting paid enough, or unless you seriously, like, you need somebody to hear you. And also just the act of lighting things on fire, that's always what people do whenever they need to bring attention to something, like they're dying to bring attention to something. I mean, he didn't just tear up one bag of toilet paper, he lit the entire building on fire. So that had to be, like, this doesn't just happen, this is built up over time. Pay us enough to live. It's something that's happened over time, not just one event. Then, I'm scrolling through the comments. 20 people inside a warehouse that big. I can't imagine the size of it. But they're carrying boxes around, and there was only 20 people there. There was no sprinklers. Like, so had there actually just been a fire that occurred, the employees, one, how would they have figured out that it's on fire? Because if there's only 20 people, all 20 people aren't standing together. It has to be spread out. So, I mean, they might have radios, they might have phones, but what if somebody's phone died? What if somebody didn't have their phone? What are they going to do if there's no sprinklers and it's this huge warehouse? Like, if you're in the middle of the warehouse, what are you going to do if there's no sprinklers and there's fire all around you? You're going to die. That's what you're going to do. You're going to die. So it's quite apparent that the health of the employees was not very important. And so this is whenever I started to be like, yeah, so my challenging of my original belief is true. These people aren't getting paid enough to live, clearly, and their working environments aren't even safe. And then comes the argument of, okay, well, this put a whole bunch of people out of jobs, and oh, well, they're still making money from their insurance. I don't think that was the intention. I don't think the intention was to put a whole bunch of people out of their jobs. It was to bring attention to the fact that these people aren't getting paid enough, to a point where, in order to bring attention to it, this is what somebody had to do. And I think it's a very desperate position to be put in, to genuinely not have enough money to live, because the options are limited. And I mean, yes, you can ask for a raise, yes, you can try and contact corporate, but I mean, I've tried to contact businesses before. It's not easy. And so I am by no means saying this is something that I would do, saying that everyone should go burn down warehouses. What I'm saying is, I can understand why somebody who is not getting paid enough to live would do something desperate to bring attention to the fact that they're not getting paid enough to live. And I think that it should be just an inherent right that all of us are getting paid enough to live on a daily basis. That should be a given right. It shouldn't be a matter of other things. It should just be, you are working here. We want to make sure that you can live your life. Live your life. It doesn't have to be live it luxuriously. Just live. And so clearly that was not being done. And that's honestly just my thought process nowadays whenever I go through things, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff also in, like, being in history class, I can see, like, there are events that are where context is changed. You don't understand things. Like, for example, your friend could, like, let's say somebody looks at you weird and you're like, she looked at me weird, and okay, so why is that important? Little do they know that's your, like, best friend, or that's your ex-best friend who cheated on, or who your ex cheated on you with while you two were best friends. Like, those are two entirely different situations. Obviously not as not on as big of a scale as other things, but that's just, like, I would say, like, an entrance into context. So, or an example, like a basic example. So I genuinely think that context is really important in this situation. And I feel like before you jump to judge somebody, it just really, like, you just really need to think, like, what options are there if you don't have enough money to live? And your company can give that to you. They're just choosing not to. And you're being overworked. So, I think it's easy to say, like, burning things down is bad. It's not as easy to say, like, it's not as easy to challenge that belief. But I would say it's a lot easier to do things that are hard now than wait until this becomes such a large issue, which is already a large issue, to wait until this issue just consumes everyone, which could happen. And also to stand up for all of the people in our country, and just to include everyone and be happy. And I know that it's really easy to form a counter argument against all of that, but I'm not really in the mood to explain why we should all have basic empathy for people who have less money than us. So I'm just gonna leave that there. And if you get it, you get it. And if you think my message is insane and I don't know what I'm talking about, then maybe listen again, because I feel like I explained that in a pretty simple and, like, unbiased way. Because I honestly, like, I would not say that this is an issue that I, like, inside my body feel very strongly about, but I will say it's something that I will not necessarily disagree with, because I understand where it's coming from and I understand why it's being done. And I don't think that this is just an outward act of violence to harm people. And also the fact that there haven't been casualties in, I'm looking at stuff from the beginning of April, and I know it's the end of April now, but based on the fact that there haven't been casualties in the first 9 attacks, first 10, I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that there have not been casualties, or very many casualties, in any of the other ones, because the intent isn't to harm people. People working in the warehouses is. And I would say it's a lot better to burn down a warehouse than it is to shoot someone. So that's in my opinion, because I think human lives are worth more than warehouses. But yeah, other people might think differently. I really appreciate that you listened to all of this, and I feel like this is just a good step for me to navigate having conversations about issues that feel controversial at the time, or not even controversial, just like there are people who I know will be dismissive about this. And I hope you're not one of them. Please use your critical thinking skills and work to help us all. Okay. Oh. Okay. Bye. Okay, take 2. So, one of my friends went to Europe over spring break, and she got me a tote bag that says "Be Your Own Sugar Daddy." And the reason why I'm making this video is because I think it's so iconic that the only 2 things in here are my heels from prom, because she gave it to me on, like, my prom day, and this book about Madonna. Isn't that hilarious? Because I'm doing a research paper on her. I feel like that's so iconic.